Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to look way up into the night sky at one of the most famous star clusters you can see. And we're going to connect it to an ancient astrological system that's thousands of years old. We are diving deep into the fiery, the fierce, and the absolutely fascinating Krittika Nakshatra. Let's find out what makes it so powerful.
So, what do all those things have in common? You guessed it, the answer is Krittika. It's this incredible story that weaves together real-life astronomy, powerful mythology, and some seriously deep personality insights. And we're going to unpack all three of those threads today.
So where do we even begin? Well, let's start with something you might have already seen 1,000 times. You know when you look up at the night sky and spot that tiny, shimmering, dipper-shaped group of stars? Well, that little cluster is our way in.
That's right, the Pleiades, also known as the Seven Sisters, is the exact same star cluster that forms the Krittika Nakshatra. It's actually the third of 27 celestial divisions in Vedic astrology, and believe me, each one has its own unique energy and story.
Okay, so what exactly is a nakshatra? The easiest way to think about it is like a super specific neighborhood in the sky. While the Western zodiac has 12 signs, the Vedic system gets way more detailed with these 27 lunar mansions. The moon chills in each one for about a day. And the one it was in when you were born, well, that's your primary nakshatra, and it gives you this incredibly detailed picture of your personality.
Now take a look at this chart. It shows us exactly where Krittika sits in the grand scheme of things. See right there, between the symbols for Aries and Taurus? That's it. It literally bridges the tail end of fiery Aries and the very beginning of earthy Taurus. And that unique position is super important because it means Krittika gets a blend of both of their energies. And speaking of that fiery placement, that brings us right to the core of Krittika's whole identity: fire. But we're not just talking about any old campfire here. Oh no! This is a sacred, purifying, and incredibly powerful flame that shapes everything about it.
Okay, now this is where things get really interesting. Krittika has what you could call a double dose of fire. Its planetary ruler is the sun, which gives it all that drive, independence, and commanding presence. But then, its presiding deity is Agni, the Vedic god of, fire itself. This adds this whole other layer of purification and an intensity that can pretty much consume anything in its path. This table really pulls it all together. Check this out. The name Krittika literally means the cutters. Its symbol, a sharp object, like a razor or scissors. And its special power, or Shakti, is called Dahana Shakti, which means the power to purify things by burning them away. And to top it off, its quality is Rajasic, which is all about being active, ambitious, and just going for it. See the theme here? It's all about cutting to the truth and burning away whatever isn't pure. Now for my favorite part. This is where the story truly comes alive. You really can't understand Krittika without knowing the myth of Kartikeya, the god of war, because this nakshatra plays a starring role in how he came to be. So, picture this. The heavens and the earth are in total chaos. There's this unstoppable demon king, Surapadma, and he's just wrecking everything. No one can beat him. The gods are desperate. They need a hero, a warrior of immense power to restore balance to the cosmos. So, to create this ultimate warrior, Lord Shiva unleashes his cosmic power. 6 divine, fiery sparks shoot out from his third eye. They land in a sacred lake and, boom, they're transformed into 6 baby boys. I mean, an origin story doesn't get much more epic than pure fire and divinity, right? But even divine babies are vulnerable. They had to be hidden away and raised in secret. And who took on that job? 6 celestial women, who were actually the personifications of the Pleiades stars. These 6 women, the Krittikas, became their fierce protectors and their nurturing foster mothers. And here's the big finale of the story. When the children were finally brought back, Shiva's wife, Mother Parvati, embraced all 6 of them with so much love and power that they merged into a single being with 1 body and 6 heads. This was Kartikeya, the great commander of the celestial armies, named in honor of his 6 mothers, the Krittikas. Okay, so you might be thinking, a thousands of years old story about a 6-headed war god? What on earth does that have to do with personality traits today? Well, it's everything. It all comes down to that core duality we just saw in the myth, that mix of fierce protection and sharp, decisive action. This right here is the double-edged blade of Krittika. On one side, you have the protector.
This is that nurturing, caring, almost maternal instinct from the foster mothers who raised Krittika. They are so loyal and will defend their people with everything they've got. But on the other side, you have the destroyer. That's the sharp, cutting energy of the razor. This can come out as a critical nature, a sharp tongue, impatience, and the ability to just ruthlessly sever ties with people or situations that are holding them back.
So when you put it all together, you get this incredible mix of traits. You've got the warrior's bravery from Kartikeya, right? And that deep nurturing instinct from his 6 mothers. A super sharp intellect that just cuts right through the noise. But you also get that tendency to be critical, a little impatient, and fiercely, fiercely independent. All of it fueled by that double whammy of the sun and the god of fire, Agni.
All right, so let's get practical. With this really complex mix of a warrior's blade and a mother's protective hug, how does someone with strong Krittika energy actually operate in relationships? Let's take a look.
So, compatibility-wise, you can see that the best match for Krittika is Jyeshta, with a pretty high score of 76%. Jyeshta is considered wise and worldly, and they can really inspire Krittika. But then you look at the other end of the spectrum, a challenging match like Rohini at only 30%. Rohini's emotional and sometimes possessive nature can really clash with Krittika's hardcore need for independence.
So at the end of the day, the real key for a Krittika native in a relationship is finding someone who gets their need for freedom, but who can also gently break through that tough, protective outer shell to connect with the warm, nurturing person inside. For them, trust is absolutely everything. And that really leaves us with the central question of Krittika, doesn't it? It holds this incredible potential to be a creative, warming, and protective fire, or a sharp, critical blade that cuts away anything it decides is imperfect. For anyone with this nakshatra in their chart, the real journey is learning how to wield both sides of that amazing double-edged star. Thanks for diving in with us today.